life reset, bankruptcy, world came to a crashing end, and you're back on your feet. And then all of a sudden, the girl shows up, and you don't want to lose her. So how does that all fit in together? Got a great email here I think you're all gonna like. Roll it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nico's Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. If this is your first time here, hit a like at the end of the video if you like what you've seen. Of course, hit the subscribe button to get your daily motivational idea to get your mindset moving in the right direction. Jumping into the email. Hi Nikos. I declared bankruptcy last year and started over. Good for you for starting over in such a small amount of time. Some people take a while. So a friend sent me your videos and I have to say some stuff you're spot on. Thank you, and thank your friend. I met a new girl and she keeps wanting to do things. Expensive things. Was that a surprise, bro? I don't want to lose her being cheap. At the same time, I don't want to get back into the situation I was in. My new business is starting to pick up and I know that you would say it should be my focus. How would you deal in this situation? Well, you know, it's always rough from a mindset perspective. From an actual logical perspective, it's not. It's in here. It's all in here. It's all psychological warfare you're causing to yourself. You've gone through a horrific time. You did something that is probably one of the hardest things that any person can ever do. Go through bankruptcy. You know, being that you lost, so much, you probably lost a great relationship, probably, other girlfriend or wife or what have you. Maybe you got a family, all this stuff. And, you hit rock bottom, you got back on your feet, you're moving forward. It shows a lot about who you are. And the reality of it is that in order to do that, you've increased your ability to say, no. Because you said no to one of the biggest things ever, which was giving up. You're like, no, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna get back on my feet. I'm gonna start working. I'm gonna get this new business going. I'm gonna get moving in the right direction. That's amazing. And you gotta remember that each and every time you feel in a negative mindset, you would say. Especially in a negative mindset when there's new persons in your life and you're going, well, like, she wants to spend money and I don't, because I need to make sure my life gets in track again. Which really, it brings me to one of the hardest things that you might need to do if you haven't done it already. And that's the question of, how honest have you been with her? Did you tell her your history? Did you tell her you went through bankruptcy? Did you tell her that you've been building this business? Where are you at with that? Usually, one of two things will happen when I'm talking to people about this. One, they have been completely honest with the person, or they haven't, and they've totally lied. And they've carried on this persona of having this great business, and they've been growing it, and it's all good, and they've created a storyline that the girl will be impressed by, and lo and behold, you come to these situations where you're spending too much money, you're feeling like, oh, if I don't keep spending it, the girl's gonna leave. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That's the simple economics of your mindset. You're fear-based. You're reactive to things that occur, and then you struggle. Instead of having a good relationship, a strong, healthy one, you're reactive. So the reality is, truth is critical. And I mean, I encourage people to tell the truth. I encourage people to explain the reality of what life is, what's occurring right now, where you're at, what's going on. And here's what's gonna happen. The people that come to me, they have told the truth. Well, if the person respects them and sees them as this strong character, this person with, full of values and principles and that integrity, and they're working with their head up high, they're not going to put them in a situation where they're going to feel the way you're feeling. If they are, well, that person is not good for you. And you got to put it through your head. It doesn't matter, how good anything is, how happy you are with the person when you are. The fact that they're going, hey, I need this stuff, and you're not providing it or what have you, you got to question, is this person good for you? And the reality is 9 times out of 10, they're not good for you. If you've been going through this path where you haven't said anything about what's happened, and that's the reality of it, I would encourage you to start talking about it, bring it up. And I mean, the question is when you're going to do that, and that is, when do you feel that you're going to be comfortable doing it? And two, when do you feel that she'll be comfortable to reciprocate and be on your side of things, understandable, and be like, you know what, I still respect you, I love the fact that you've gone back on your feet, you're working towards everything, your head's up high, and you're in that flow of things again. And the question really is, the most people I have met that ended up going down this route, they have successful, great relationships because they were honest. The other side of things is that the ones that, when the girl found out or the guy found out that, hey, I did go bankrupt, or he went bankrupt, or she went bankrupt, they end up leaving, and then they're like, okay, so now we figured out it was just about money, it was about this, superficial thing, it wasn't actually true happiness, true joy with one another, it wasn't love, and they get over the heartbreak and they move forward. So it's a question of when are you going to be ready to realize that one of those two things will happen. And the fact is that most guys, more than girls, most guys will step back and not say anything, continue their path, and they suffer through the same emotions you're experiencing on one hand. On the other hand, instead of having this person that supports you and goes, you know what, we're not going to go get that dinner, we're going to spend the money on us, later when you start making more, let's invest it back into the business, let's get going on the business, that route, okay, that person is who you want. That's right, in this situation you're in right now, that's who you want. And if this person is that person and you tell them and they become that, you'll have the greatest relationship ever. And that's what you really got to be thinking about. And you got to ask yourself, when are you ready to come to the reality of, will they be that person, or are they going to be the other person that's going to be like, ooh, you went bankrupt, ooh, you don't actually have money, ooh, that's the reality of this. And if they do leave, they leave, and you got to get put up with it. But the second piece of reality is, at one point they're gonna want to move in with you. At one point they're gonna want to buy a house with you. At one point you're gonna be, like, this is like you getting married and this and that, but you're gonna go get a loan from the bank. What's gonna happen? Sir, looks like you've been bankrupt. Oh, and the other person doesn't know, and they find out that way. So the truth will come out down the road somehow, and it's not that it just won't. The question is, when are you going to be ready to tell her? Now, of course, this is like the experience I've seen with people and the coaching we've walked through and the scenarios that occur. The timeline occurs one way or the other. Things will come out. And the question is, how far down the road do you want to let it go? And how much time are you going to be wasting doing that? And what's going to happen? And that stress increasing. Again, the options are all there. It's your choice to figure out what is best for your situation and how your story fits the timeline. If we were on a coach call, we'd be going through a series of questions to figure out exactly the more concrete options that you would have and how you can become more comfortable in making the right decision at the right time. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit a like if you like what you see. Of course, hit the subscribe button to get your daily motivational idea to get you moving in the right direction. Of course, leave a comment below. Maybe somebody is going to be reading that comment of your story and what you would suggest in the situation, because it might be similar and it might help change a life.